Britain's future, arguably, never looked so uncertain. The British lawmakers are set to vote on Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit deal. Will a deal with the European Union find any takers? That's a million-dollar question. The Prime Minister will later today address the Parliament. She fears the planned exit from the European Union could be derailed. Theresa May, a little while ago, delivered a speech in the city of Stoke-on-Trent.
Nobody has yet come up with an alternative Brexit deal that is negotiable and that actually, nobody has come up with an alternative Brexit deal that is negotiable and that delivers on the result of the referendum. And that's what we must remember. This is not just about negotiating a deal, it's about negotiating a deal that delivers on the result of the referendum, taking back control of money, laws and borders, but also ensures that we do it in a way that maintains jobs, maintains security, protects jobs and security, and protects our union.
The Prime Minister said it was likely that the lawmaker would block Brexit altogether. She fears that the chances of Brexit being blocked are higher than Britain leaving European Union without a deal.
Well, I'm working to ensure that we get members of Parliament voting for the deal tomorrow. I believe it is important that we deliver on this result, that we don't see a situation where there's a risk that Parliament tries to frustrate Brexit. I think over the last few days we've seen that risk increasing. I want to ensure that we deliver on the referendum, that we leave the European Union, and I want to do it on the basis of a good deal that protects people's jobs, protects our security and protects our union.
And I'm joined by our Bureau Chief from London, Bandy Clark. Bandy, thank you for joining us on Dispatch. How will this affect Britain's economy? Will it survive the legislative shock?
Well, it all depends what happens, right? And nobody can blame any viewer for being very confused because Brexit has been a movable feast. What Theresa May really tried to force the issue that there was only two options. There was her deal that was imperfect but did the best on the promises, or there was no deal when Britain crashes out. But the Speaker of the House threw a hand grenade last week and said, no, there can't just be your deal or no deal, that you have to come out with an alternative solution in 3 days' time. And then there was this amendment that said it would stop, that Britain couldn't go forward with a no-deal solution. No deal was not a solution. So if this amendment passes tomorrow, they might not even vote on her deal. So it's very unclear what will happen. She is angry about this. That's why she's saying that parliamentarians are trying to stop Brexit altogether. Ultimately, parliamentarians hate her deal. They don't want her deal, but they also don't want to crash out of the European Union. So they want an alternate solution. Now, if one can't be found, Brexit will be delayed. But what will happen is anyone's guess. And tomorrow, it's everything to play for.
Mandy, but what happens to the credibility of the British politicians? Because if ultimately you don't respect the decision being made, which is the referendum, then what happens to the larger credibility, the message to the world?
Well, I think that's her argument, that, you vote on something, you want it to pass, and all of a sudden politicians say they know best. Of course, that's going to severely damage it. But this movement has been a cross-party movement. It's Conservative MPs are supporting Labour MPs. But yes, of course, it will lose a lot of faith between politicians and the public who democratically voted to Brexit. Like it or lump it, that is what the population decided. It will appear to the vast majority of the population, especially those who want Brexit, that the politicians decided they just knew best. So yeah, it will damage relations, but I think many politicians feel that it's a better solution than getting damaged severely economically if they do crash out. So there's lots of politicking, and everyone's going to claim they were doing the best for the people, but ultimately it will damage relations.
But Mandy, do you think that the Theresa May will be able to get the numbers in Parliament? Does she have the numbers? Is mathematics
No, she doesn't have the numbers, and it doesn't look like she will have the numbers. Currently, she has a minority government, so anything she wants to pass at the minute, she needs the DUP. This is the Northern Irish hard right group to support her deals through. They hate her deal because of this Irish backstop. They said they're not going to support it. If they all of a sudden change their mind, it might go through. But there's also 100 MPs on the Conservative side saying they're not going to vote for the deal either. So she has to convince a lot of people in a very short space of time to change their mind. Right now, the numbers, it's not going to go through.
Thank you, Mandy. Thank you for joining me from London on this issue. So tomorrow, a very important day for Theresa May.